Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Akshay. Hi.
Hi,
Good
thank you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Akshay, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Akshay. I have around 8 years of experience, and specific to data analytics, it's been 6.5 years. So I have completed my bachelor's in electronics and telecommunications engineering in 2015, and I started with my career with the telecom company. It's Gemini Communications, and slightly I found myself like I'm more interested into developing the reports. So I just picked up the MS Excel and the Tableau tool for skill up myself. So with time I got opportunity to work with the Tata Communications as a associate engineer, and over there, uh, on the day-to-day basis I used to interact with the different clients across the globe to fix the network related issues, and to understand their issues on the fiber optic pipeline and all. And also I used to configure the routers and switches. So over there I had get the chance to develop one Tableau report. It was for network monitoring system. So over there I found like it is more interested tool. So I started learning Tableau in deep, and with that skill I got actual data analyst job into the Zensar technology. So in the Zensar, on a day-to-day basis I used to communicate with the different business users, stakeholders, to understand their requirements, and the based on their requirement I used to write a custom SQL from the scratch, and retrieve the ad hoc reports for them. And later on I automated that task using the Tableau. I created the SQL view and implemented that view to the Oracle database, and created a Tableau extract for the same view on the Tableau server. And I designed an inventory management dashboard from the scratch to the client, like whenever they need any information for any specific customer, now they will be able to directly go to Tableau server, to that particular dashboard, and select customer name to retrieve all the details for that customer. And along with that they will be able to see the dashboard containing the information of all the inventory the customer have. So I had automated that part. So it was a great journey over there. And at my current workplace, I am working with the Ultimatric, and here I am uh, working as an individual contributor with the client. And here specifically I am working on developing the Tableau dashboards for the client, and optimizing the existing Tableau dashboard for them, and integrating the some additional features if they want to add into the existing Tableau dashboard. And in addition to this I am also working on backend side, like developing the SQL script, make changes into the existing SQL script logic, like updating the logic, and add or remove the field. And also I am able to develop the workflows into the Alteryx. And there is one Tableau dashboard for the live data they are tracking, so I am developing the live data pipeline into the NiFi for the. So yeah, that is what in nutshell I'm doing here.
All right. Thanks. So, how many years of relevant experience you have in Tableau?
It's been 6 years around.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how much you rate yourself after 5? Hmm.
Out of five, four I rate four.
Okay, for development, right?
Yeah, for
Uh,
development.
do you also know got a chance to work on Tableau Pixel Perfect?
In the project, I mean the client is not using the Pixel Perfect, but I am aware like it is used to extract the report in the specified format, like image or PPT or PDF. So that
Mm-hmm.
purpose it is used. But to be honest, like I don't want to lie, I am not
Mhm.
using the Pixel Perfect application into my current project.
What about tablet extension?
Yeah, the tablet extension is used to
Mhm.
integrate the dashboard to the specified website, like the which is in the private network of the client. And if they have the multiple data sources, so they are using the some table extensions to make changes into the table and use that particular data set to develop the front end tableau dashboard.
Okay. Uh, did you get a chance to work on
Mhm.
to integrate the Python in the Tableau?
Not specifically, but in one of the dashboard, I am using the Python script. So it is into the table extension I am using. Like the client have a huge table from his server, so he needed to only subset of that table to develop dashboard. So over there, I had used in table extension. I had written the custom Python script to retrieve the only subset of data, like specified columns as per his requirement, and use that.
All right.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sure. Uh, all right, Akshay. Uh, so can
Mhm.
tell me the difference between a relationship and joins?
Okay. So if we apply a join, so we will get the, I mean, we are joining to two tables without performing any aggregations basically. So based on the common attributes, we get the table. I mean, we can join the table and we get the bigger table in front side. But in the relationships, we have a logical layer into the Tableau workspace where we can define the relationship between the common attribute in the Tableau worksheet, but it will be on logical level.
Mhm. Okay. Uh, okay. So any specific benefit we have if
Mhm.
you use a relationship instead of join union and blending?
Yeah, it's all depends on how the infrastructure is designed. Uh, let's say in my dashboard, I have to perform some critical calculations. Then I would prefer to do joining, because like the way joining happen, it simply integrates the two table and returns the big table in output without performing any underlying calculation or aggregation. And that happens when the both tables belongs to the same data source. Then joining is the best choice over there. Blending comes into the picture when the two data sets are coming out from two different sources. So by default, we have a blending option, but the issue is with blending is it performs the aggregation on the table and then it joins the table. So if I have any complex calculation in the Tableau dashboard, like a level of detail, so it it get crashed. Like if I have multiple fields included from the board table, it will not support. So that depends on how the infrastructure design, like from the backside.
Mhm. Okay. So I mean, joining is the best choice instead of blending and relationship, right?
Yeah. Also, it's thoroughly depends on how the data is coming into the Tableau workplace. So based on that, it is decidable. Some cases blending is a good choice, but most
Mm.
of the time we prefer to do a join.
Okay. Uh, Have you used the parameter?
Yeah, parameter is used to it is for the user level. Like if user want to toggle between the charts or any dimension within the Tableau dashboard, then we can use parameter. And
Mhm.
like we can integrate the parameter with the calculated field to allow user to drill down more into the data at like in the front side. And if user want to change the graph, in that case also we can allow him to switch from line chart to bar chart through just toggling over the parameters. So it is a
Okay.
user friendly filter, we can say. It's not a proper filter, it is a choice of user, like user can easily switch over as per his requirement within the chart.
Can you tell me a scenario where you use dynamic parameter, in your project?
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, and what's the purpose of that?
Dynamic parameter. Okay, so I would clear the question first. It will vary with the backend data, right? The values within the parameter will change with the data, backside data, correct?
Yeah. So it has several benefit with the
Hmm.
normal parameter which we created. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So in the normal parameter, like we define the all fields and then we integrate that with the calculation, like whatever we are doing from backside. For example, let's say I have created a static parameter for years. I have a 4 year of data in my tableau, and in that case user will be able to access for all that 4 years, like he will be toggle between 4 years in case of static. But at the same place, if I do it a dynamic, then whenever data get updated, like for the next year or in future, so the next year value will automatically captured within the parameter whenever the tableau worksheet loaded, and user will be able to access the fresh data like for the current year.
Mhm.
So in that case, whenever data get updated, the parameter value get update automatically.
So have you used
Yeah,
this in your project? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
which was
So
the scenario?
one of the business user wanted to see the date when the tableau report is refreshed. Like whenever the tableau report get refreshed, it should show the last updated date at the corner side. So in that case, I had used the parameter over the date.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what happens in calculated field, like just calculate a max date in the date column. So whenever the data get refreshed, we get the latest date into that calculated field, and using that I use the parameter to showcase that date at the front side in the left corner in the dashboard. So whenever user opens the worksheet, he will be able to see when the actual refresh happens. So if it is outdated, it will quickly show the last date, like last refresh date basically for that particular dashboard. So in that case I
Mm-hmm.
had used. And in addition, for year only, year also I had used, like he wanted to see uh, like today I have created the report in the December. User will be able to access the all the historical years, he will be able to toggle. But in the next year, like upcoming years, whenever a new year starts, whenever the data get refreshed, so that year column should updated with the current year, like latest year. So that is also a good use case to do create a dynamic parameter.
Okay. So what kind of setting
Mhm.
we require while doing this?
In the doing this, like first we create the right click on the date and create the parameter on date, and in the parameter setting we have I'm not able to recall exact name, but we have option to update the parameter value by date whenever worksheet opens. So that is description of that option. We can, if we select that, it will automatically captures the latest date within the parameter and update the parameter value. So whenever a new user opens the worksheet, so based on the latest date, that parameter will update the his underlying values with the latest date. So that is present under the parameter settings basically.
Mhm. All right. Okay. Uh, so let's say you have created dashboard, you deploy it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And um, the performance of the report dashboard is up to the mark, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how you can configure maybe uh, follow the steps to optimize the performance of it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, till the for the few days, okay, it's working fine, but suddenly it started to work slowly, and
Mm-hmm.
customers came back to you to resolve the issue. So how you can tackle with this problem?
Yeah, so I will first run the performance optimizer in the Tableau. It's available in the Tableau desktop. So it will quickly analyze the underlying calculations, data size, and overall order of operations within the Tableau, and it will show in the separate worksheet in terms of in form of charts, like how much time it is taking to load data, then how much time it is taking to run the underlying queries, and how much time it is taking to load the dashboard. So that kind of different checks he runs, and over there it is easy to figure out where the dashboard is lagging. So there are use cases like I had worked earlier on this. So I came across a data size, like we mostly use the incremental refresh in the dashboard while publishing on the server. So whenever data get refreshed or updated, the data size get increased with time. So due to huge volume of data, uh, it creates an issue. So in that case, I would check with the client whether he want to eliminate any fields from existing dashboard data, like whatever fields we are using. If there is unused field present in underlying table, then if he is okay with eliminating unused field so that we can cut down the unnecessary volume. Second one, I will try to figure out what are the different calculated fields the client is using to perform some analysis. So if I can merge the calculated fields, or if I can eliminate and modify the calculated fields, eventually it will take lesser time to run the query. So that way we can save the time and load the dashboard quickly. So I think these two checks use a huge impact on the performance of the Tableau dashboard. And the last one is like, if he have the bulky dashboards and having too many charts, then I would suggest the client if we can split the dashboard into two different dashboard and create a button where he can easily toggle between these dashboards to see the different things on the other dashboard. So that could be a good approach to split the charts and keep dashboard clean and no as simple as possible, so that it will be very easy to quickly check the dashboard, and it will be easy for end users to understand the charts better. So I think these checks are important to do optimization.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between distribution band and reference line?
Reference lines and
Distribution band.
distribution band. Reference line we have in the analytics function. We have separate option in the Tableau where we can draw the reference line on the charts, but on the distinct band, I am not aware. I'll check on that. Like, at the moment I am not sure what exactly it refers to, but I think it refers to the overall distribution, and it creates a layer within the chart based on how the data is distributed across the different categories and all. So based on that it creates a band, I believe.
All right. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Let's know.
Mhm.
Can you tell me now? Do you know the joins in SQL?
Yes.
Okay. Let yeah. Please tell something about join.
Yeah, there are mostly four to five types of joints are there, like left joint, right joint, inner joint, outer joint, cross joint, and natural joints. So these are the different kinds of joints. Mostly we use the joints when we want to integrate the data and into the more granularity level, let's say. So we just refer the primary key and the foreign key from the target table and the source table and perform the joint, so that we can get the integrated data at a single place, and it can be used for further analysis. uh, Mostly in the backend SQL, we store the tables in consolidated forms, in just to keep the operations very simple and less time consuming. So over there, that I mean, just to develop the front end dashboard and identifying the required fields, we come across with the join, like end up with joining the multiple table and bring it to the front side. So it is good function in SQL.
Okay.
You shared something on chat box.
Okay. So we have just two table. Okay.
Okay.
Table one and table two.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say ID is a column, both table, and
Mm-hmm.
the assume these are the rows. Uh, One, two, three. So the in the first table we will have value one, two, two, three
Mm-hmm.
null null, and in second table we have two, three, four, five null one one.
Got you.
Um, let's say we are performing inner join on this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
left join on this, right join on this, cross join on this, and full join on this. Can you
Mm-hmm.
tell me the total number of rows returned for the each join? Do you know indexing?
Yeah, yeah. They are in the SQL. Mostly we in SQL, right? Or Tableau also we use indexing.
Yeah,
Uh,
in SQL now.
in the SQL, to optimize the query, mostly we use indexing. It is clustered index or a unique index, mostly used on the primary key. Like whenever we retrieve a specific field from the table, so with the help of indexing, it takes lesser time to run the query. But
Mhm.
like that all part comes in the develop, like while developing the SQL script for the table. Basically when the data is getting out, we are receiving data from the outer source, like any website or any different source, and we are bringing that to the SQL environment. So while creating the table, we specify that in while defining the field name and all.
Yeah. Okay. So we have cluster index and non-cluster index. These are two types.
Yeah,
Um, can you tell me the difference between these both?
the cluster index and
Non-cluster index.
okay. So i I'm not sure at the moment, but I had gone through that part, but I'm not able to recall at the moment. Sorry. It's mostly used
Okay.
on the categorical, I think. Categorical data, based on the specific range, it applies the indexing. But
Okay.
I'll check that part. I'm not able to recall. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So have you also worked on advanced SQL part like function, store procedure, trigger kind of this?
Yeah, I have worked on the trigger and store procedure. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the data, like in my current project. I'm developing the NiFi pipeline, and I'm getting a stream data. I'm getting a data in a single column basically, and I am passing that data to the MS SQL environment. So to splitting the data into different column, I am using triggers. So whenever I get a data from the NiFi environment to the MS
Mm-hmm.
SQL, so it automatically turn on the trigger, and basically I designed a trigger in a such a way that where he parse the data. He's receiving a single string, and based on the delimiter, it is parsing out the data and dividing the data into different columns basically, and inserting that into the table. So I'm using trigger over there. And for store procedure, it's not used here, but it is used in my one of earlier project that I had worked, where on the specific condition I was calling out the trigger for a currency pair for from the different table. So I created store procedure and performed some currency analysis within the body of that store procedure to return that particular field whenever condition is meeting.
All right. Okay. Do you work on Python?
Uh, I am. I mean, I do have the basic understanding of Python, but in the real project, I have not worked.
Okay. I mean, in the tableau,
Hmm.
uh,
Like I can
do you ever
easily
get chance to
create.
integrate
Yeah.
Python with?
I had created a data frame in the Python. Like in my one of Tableau project, I just manipulated using the pandas library and created a data frame and used that into the Tableau. As I said, in the table extension, I had used it. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in addition to that, I'm practicing some big data analysis also. So I'm developing the data frames in the Scala and the Spark. So I'm using the Spark context over here and the Spark sessions to create a data frame from the input file. So yeah, I do have the basic understanding, but I don't have the real-time exposure on that part. If I get, I can definitely explore it more.
All right. No problem. Thanks. Uh, okay, Akshay. So your name is Akshay or Aksha something?
It's misspelled in the meeting. My name is Akshay.
All right. All right, Akshay. So I'm done with my from
Mhm.
my side. Do you have any questions for me?
The question is like, what is the tech stack? And like, I'm aware about the job profile. It is full on Tableau. So, in addition to that, what are the different technologies that are present in this, or to explore more?
Yeah. It's fully, related to Tableau only.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you get chance to work on Tableau desktop, Tableau Pixel Perfect,
Mm-hmm.
some little bit on Tableau extension and so Tableau integration with Python. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Not more, but yeah, you get chance to explore as well as SQL is the Tableau
Yeah,
desktop and SQL is mandatory.
that must have.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day ahead.